Are you ready for some junk journal snacks? I know I am. I always am. I'm assuming since you're here, you are too. I'm, as always, working in the beautiful journal from Nadia. Her Instagram is linked below, as always. And I wanted to add something to the page I made here for December. You remember this one? This was 2 Sundays ago, I believe. And I still haven't written anything in here, and I'm happy I didn't because there's something now I want to add. So in the meantime, I have received a beautiful card from Louise. So this is Louise Junk Journal Art. Her channel is linked below. You might have seen our December series in December. And I wanted to add this envelope which says, Für mein Schneeflöckchen. Louisa, I hope it's okay I'm showing this, which means for my little snowflake. This is my nickname from her since December, and I love it. And I have to show you Louisa's beautiful card. Look at this. I'm so in love with this card. This background here is from one of her printables with buttons. I will link that printable for you below. Look how gorgeous it is. And then obviously she added some die cuts and a bird, which is so cool because if you've seen our December series, you will know that I have been using so many birds in that series. So it is so special. Can't show you the inside, that is personal, but I do want to definitely keep this card in this journal on this page. I want to cut away this flap because this is kind of making it hard to access the card. Actually, I think tearing it would be easier. Okay, I will put that in later. So I'm going to glue it on here and then cover this because I don't like this here anyway. It's showing the back side of the masking tape. It is very wrinkly here from the tacky glue that I use. So I'm going to glue it here, cover this up, and then I can flip this and I can still write here and on this one if the paper I add is light enough. But of course I also want to decorate this envelope a little bit. This part here is quite empty, and yes, I could use it as journaling space, but I want to try something else. If you have watched Louise's December, I still can't say it. December day 22, the prompt was mushroom and circle. And she made the cutest mushrooms using a circle punch. I will link her video down below. If you haven't seen it, you really missed out. And since I've watched that video, I have been obsessed and I've been wanting to try it ever since. So that's what I want to do. I want to add probably 2 mushrooms here. And I want to, of course, use some of my own papers. One paper I could use is this Gorgeousness, which is just something that happened while I was creating something else. And I think these might make really fun mushrooms. Instead of a circle punch, I'm going to use my circle dies, which I have here. So I can have more flexibility concerning the size of the mushroom. I can probably, oh, that's pretty big. Maybe I don't want to go that big. Yep, I think for this envelope, I can't go too big. So one like this, and then a small one. I really love the small ones that Louisa made, maybe even smaller. Let's try a teeny tiny one like this. So I'm going to cut these 2. I want the stem to have this design here. So I'll have to cut another one, but I think, yeah, this is almost too big. So I'll see if it works with this one, and for the small one, I'll cut another circle like this. So I have my circles, and then Louisa cut them in half. And used a corner rounder to round these corners here. Question is, do I use my large corner rounder? I think that's too much. Maybe my small one is better. Yep, that's a mushroom top. How cute! And I'll do the same thing for the small one. Okay, we have a large one and a small one. And now I need the bodies. Louisa also cut these in half. And then she used her notch punch. Well, she has a small one, but I have this one from the envelope punch board, and I'm going to try that. Maybe not go all the way in. So now I have this shape. Yeah, that's cute. I think I wanted the smaller one, didn't I? I think I cut the wrong circle because I wanted a small mushroom. Okay, I'll cut another one. Thankfully, I have some more space, so I'll just use the small circle on this one. All right, that's better. So let's try this again. Much better. And then let's make another body from this one. Okay, so I can glue those on. If you have not made your own mushrooms yet, please do. They are so stinking cute. Okay, but I want a different background. I want to add a piece of this first. This was what I used in Defemorember as a protection for my desk. But these wouldn't show up very well if I just added them like this. Well, I guess they would, but I think I want more contrast, so I want to paint this. And maybe you were expecting me to do this in my jade green, but no, I'm gonna do this in black, going outside of my comfort zone. I'm hoping that I can still see the embossing of the stars underneath the black. This is very black indeed. And at this point, I had to switch over to voicemail because right in the middle of that video, I received some very, very sad news and I could not continue filming in that state that I was in. So I continued the next morning, and this was pure therapy for me. As always, this is what helps me deal with difficult situations. Crafting is always my savior, and if you have never tried that, please give it a try. So as you saw, I used my embossing folder for this because the stars weren't coming out enough, and thankfully I had a star embossing folder. And then of course everything was way too black, so I wanted to use this beautiful turquoise gilding wax, and I really like how that turned out. Then I wanted to edge my mushrooms because I thought they were looking a bit flat. So first I inked them up with my espresso truffle ink, and now I want to add a few scraps behind them to give them some ground to stand on. So this is where the really, really small paper strips come in super handy. I love just playing around with these. This is a gorgeous piece of golden wallpaper. And on top then I wanted to add this beautiful gold lace, which I think went so well with the gold spots. So here I'm taking my carbon sketch pencil to again add some more shading because I thought the other one just didn't really show up very well, and the paint started to come off this parchment paper, but yeah, no worries, we just glue it on and keep on working. So I'm outlining the two mushrooms and blending them with my paper blending stump. If you don't have a blending stump, you can obviously also use a Q-tip. That works well as well. And now I wanted these mushrooms to have more of a glow, like I wanted to really make them seem like they are very special. Louisa was actually calling me a mushroom junkie. Yeah, I guess she's right. So I'm just adding the gesso around it to make them stand out a little bit more, and I just kept going and going because I never had the feeling they stood out enough. I just kept doing this over and over again until I was happy, trying to blend it out. And then since it was so white, I wanted to add some of my gold gilding wax. So both of these are from the company Craft Emotions. I got them in Germany. I know they are from the Netherlands actually. And of course, once you start with the gold, you cannot stop. So I ended up putting it everywhere. And still the white shadow wasn't enough. I really wanted to make them glow, kind of like I do in some of my digitals as well. I've done that with my fairy kit and also with my Egyptian kit, and I really like how things stand out with a white shadow rather than a black shadow. So I kept going until I was happy with that result. That took quite a while, I must say. But the thing is to just not stop. Don't give up, just keep going until you're happy with your result. At the end, I wanted to add some more inner shading as well with my carbon sketch pencil. And once I was happy with that, I wanted to add some of these stars, which were a freebie during December. So obviously I needed 3 because, you know, 3 is the magic number. And I definitely didn't want any red ones, so I stuck to the blue, the white, and the black, and I loved the addition. I actually wanted to add snowflakes because, you know, that's what the envelope said. But in the end, I just decided to go with the stars. I think that was really enough. And I love how they turn out on the front of the envelope as well. I could have actually, I might still do that. I think I might still add some white splattering. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of that. And then I took out my very cheap label maker, which I always forget about. And the words that I wanted to add here were to friendship, something very simple, but something that means a lot to me. And, you know, my friendship to Louise is very special to me. So yeah, I think that label says it all. So I'm super happy with how it turned out, and I think it is worthy of Louise's card now. So finally, I am gluing on the flap of the envelope to that one part of the page. And I decided to cover that with this packaging paper, which came from Louise. And I just thought that was so fitting to have her packaging paper on this page. And I am super happy with how this turned out. And now finally I will do some journaling about December. Thank you so much for watching. Use your creativity and crafting as your therapy. It works wonders, let me tell you from my own experience. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!